I don't generally review old cars. You know, my channel is about new, upcoming, trending supercars. But today I'm going to be taking a look and doing a full review of this bright yellow Lamborghini Gallardo coupe. It was just such an influential model when it was unveiled at the 2003 Geneva Motor Show because it was the first Lamborghini made under the leadership of the new parent company, Audi, and it was also the first Lamborghini with the V10 engine, which made it a very important addition to the Lamborghini lineup. Fortunately, it was a huge hit with customers all over the world, and it's one of the best-selling Lamborghinis of all time. It has a 5-liter dual overhead cam V10 engine that produces around 493 horsepower and 376 pound-feet of torque. And part of what I really like about the engine is that it's really proudly displayed underneath its glass case in the back of the car, so everyone can come up and enjoy it and look at it. It also has a 6-speed e-gear transmission with paddle shifters and all-wheel drive, so it brings some really great acceleration as well, and it's a pretty cool sounding engine too. But the fuel economy is where everything just falls apart with the Gallardo because it only gets 8 city MPG, and with the around 24-gallon gas tank, you're only going to get about 190 miles of range out of this thing, and that's really terrible. People complain about Teslas having bad range, but the Gallardo, this thing really has bad range. It's got a pretty good suspension setup with double wishbones and stabilizer bars for all 4 wheels and a limited slip differential for both axles. So overall, it has a turning circle of 37.7 feet. Not great, but yeah, it's just not that great. Fortunately for Lamborghini, the exterior of the car completely makes up for the problems with the suspension. It's just such a classic Lamborghini design, really got those wedge-shaped proportions going that are so, unique to Lamborghini. Some people might call it chunky or rectangular because it's not as aerodynamic or angular as modern Lamborghinis, but I really feel that this design is going to be really classic and popular in a few years when this car stops depreciating and becomes a classic. It has HID headlights up front as well as the Lamborghini logo proudly displayed on the rippled hood. It's also got 2 grills in the lower front up in front of the wheels for cooling and aerodynamics. Power folding side mirrors are standard, as well as the really nice looking, kind of small but nice looking side intakes. Those are functional as well. And in back you have an electronically controlled spoiler that can be tilted up at higher speeds for improved downforce, but normally it remains flush with the back of the car and the taillights, which gives it a really sleek look. And you've also got dual exhaust back there, which there's only 2 exhaust pipes for all 10 cylinders, but they're really big. That gives it a really, aggressive and sleek, muscular look to it. That's just so cool in these Lamborghinis. Now, the Lamborghini Gallardo is a really low-to-the-ground car, in case you didn't notice when I was out there standing next to it, and the doors really don't open that wide either, so it's very difficult to get into. And once you're in, there's really not a lot of space to move around either. There's really not that much leg room, not that much headroom. I've got a little bit, so I guess there's enough because I'm about 6 foot. The seats are kind of tight. It's all very, very small and enclosed because you've got that big engine taking up all that space right behind you. Some things are kind of hard to get to in here, like the latch that I believe opens the engine bay. I'm not sure, I haven't tested it out yet, but it's actually kind of shoved back here behind the seat. Yeah, see, this is why the headrests look so weird. Yep, I feel it, it's right there. Yeah, very, very nice latch. Not the best setup that it could be, but overall it's a nice interior. It's got a lot of leather parts. Here we have some very nice yellow stitching in here that matches the exterior of the car. Has a cassette deck. Some of my older viewers might make fun of me for pointing out the cassette deck, but I mostly review newer cars, so something like that is kind of cool to me. It's a little retro. There's not a billion buttons on the center console like modern Lamborghinis have. There's still quite a few, but it's not too much. You can almost tell what they all do. Also got some really nice Pina Colada Wonder Wafers air freshener. Wonder if that comes standard. Jokes aside though, just like the exterior, the interior of the Gallardo is maybe not the prettiest, maybe not set up the best that it could be, but in a few years, I guarantee it's going to be so classy. So there you have my full review of the Lamborghini Gallardo coupe. It's not the best looking car, it's not the fastest, it hasn't even got the best engine or the best interior, but it's got some really classic and unique features to it that make it one of the best Lamborghinis made. And as always guys, thank you for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up for me, comment below, and go ahead and check out my channel because I've got a ton of exotic supercar and hypercar reviews up, so remember to subscribe.